Wake up, Chief. I need you.
Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're ranking every mainline Halo game.
Captain, wake up. Something has happened.
He's hot! Blowing the pins in 5!
The Forerunner's lies are at an end. I am the harbinger of the truth. You are not the future.
For this list, we'll be looking at Master Chief and Company's biggest entries into the Halo canon and finding out which game comes out on top. Which Halo adventure was your top pick? Share your favorite moments playing Halo down in the comments.
Relax. I'd rather not piss this thing off.
Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos. Halo 5 Guardians.
All hail the conquering hero. The one who was supposed to save us all. But now I must save us. From you.
This is a prime example of why the marketing team and the developers need to be on the same page at all times. Marketed as Master Chief on the run and being hunted relentlessly by newcomer Spartan Jameson Locke, the climactic battle between the two amounted to a 5-minute hand-to-hand combat cinematic before the two ended up teaming up for the remainder of the campaign. This was only the beginning of Guardians' problems, however, as 343 made the bold and ultimately ill-advised decision to sideline Master Chief for most of the story. Players would only play as Master Chief for roughly 20 to 25% of the campaign, if we're being generous, while the bulk of the game, players were locked into Spartan Locke's uncharismatic shoes. Even despite the exceptionally solid multiplayer, fans definitely made their message loud and clear to 343 Industries. Don't mess with the Master Chief.
Chief, please, wait. Cortana.
She's dangerous. I know.
You don't have to do this alone. We're here to help you.
Halo Wars 2.
Spartans, thank God. We have to get out of here.
The events of Halo Wars 2 managed to not only tie the events of the first Halo Wars into the fold, but also immediately pick up after the events of Halo 5 Guardians, and the introduction of Atriox and the Banished ties directly into Halo Infinite. Total War developers Creative Assembly took over the reins of the RTS entries in conjunction with 343 for the next entry in the Halo Wars series, and follows the UNSC ambushed by the Banished while investigating a distress beacon on the Ark, a Forerunner base capable of creating Halo rings. The crew then creates their own Halo ring in an attempt to destroy the oncoming Banished forces. While the game still received a mostly positive reception, many called out the game's more simplified mechanics compared to the first entry in the RTS series.
You're in incredible danger.
What was that?
It's him.
You're coming with us.
Halo Wars. Considering Halo originally started life as a real-time strategy game, it's surprising it took as long as it did for the series to come full circle. Helmed by Age of Empires developers Ensemble Studios, the game takes place 21 years before the events of the first Halo title, during humanity's earliest encounters with the Covenant. The greatest challenge the developers needed to address was mapping the complex controls of an RTS from keyboard to controller, and given the end result, their uphill battle was worth the effort. The plot finds the player in a race against time and the Covenant to retrieve a fleet of Forerunner ships, and because the Forerunners are involved, naturally the Flood isn't far behind. Ensemble Studios did a masterful job transitioning all the elements of both the RTS genre and the Halo lore into one cohesive experience, but the studio was unfortunately shuttered shortly after release.
Son, I have a feeling before this is over, we'll need every last Spartan in the fight. I can do this. Report back to the ship.
Good luck, sir. It's been an honor.
Halo 4. Taking up the reins of a beloved franchise is no easy task, and developers 343 Industries certainly had an uphill battle ahead of them. With Bungie leaving the franchise behind on a series high, more on that in a bit, gamers waited anxiously to see what Cortana would wake the Chief for. With a new galaxy-wide threat in the Didact and the Promethean Knights, in addition to a new sect of the Covenant, it's safe to say that the Chief was definitely needed. Along with Cortana's looming rampancy, which affects all AI after their 7-year lifespan,
I will not allow you to leave this planet!
Cortana,
I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to do that.
343 managed to deliver an effective and emotional narrative that, while it might not have reached the same heights as when Bungie was at the helm, still proved the Chief's new saga was off to a strong start.
wait.
Welcome home, John.
Halo 3 ODST.
You know the music. Time to dance.
After many years playing as a super soldier Spartan 117, Bungie took a more boots-on-the-ground approach with the side story ODST. Donning the helmet of an orbital drop shock trooper during the events of Halo 2 and the Covenant's assault on Earth, players are far more vulnerable than they've ever been in the Halo universe. Even with a new arsenal of gadgets at your disposal, players were forced to rethink every encounter they would usually face with guns blazing as the Chief. Attempting to reunite with your squad during the middle of an alien invasion as a normal human soldier against impossible odds proved to be a hit with gamers and critics who applauded the game's new approach to the series' tried and true formula and also introduced the series' favorite multiplayer mode, Firefight, Halo's version of Horde mode, which was the style at the time. Halo 2.
Master Chief, defend this station.
Yes, sir. I need a weapon.
Right this way.
After the runaway success of Halo Combat Evolved, Bungie had a lot of expectations to meet, and they more than surpassed them. In Halo 2, gamers were introduced to the Arbiter, a Covenant elite who was branded a heretic after failing to stop Master Chief from destroying the Ring on the first Halo. Following both the Chief's campaign against the Covenant forces invading Earth and the Arbiter's redemption, the two campaigns collide as Master Chief and the Arbiter find out both sides are being manipulated by the highly intelligent form of the Flood known as the Gravemind. While the ending of Halo 2 was unfortunately cut short, Bungie made up for the campaign's abrupt end with a multiplayer suite that is still ranked among the series' best even today. Halo 2 also managed to usher in the era of online multiplayer that undeniably changed the industry forever.
For a brick, he flew pretty good.
Halo Infinite.
Can you hear me? This is you, Ennis!
What a difference a year can make. After a subpar first showing, shout out to Craig, the decision was made to delay Microsoft's flagship title by a year to allow the team extra time to refine the experience, and it was absolutely the right call.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
The decision to take Master Chief open world feels like a natural evolution for the series, all while still maintaining and highlighting what has made the series such a cultural icon and presenting some of the best gameplay opportunities in the series to date. While the story might have fallen short of previous efforts, it's still a marked step up from the disappointing Halo 5 Guardians. The addition of free-to-play multiplayer means that everyone with even a passing interest in Halo gets a chance to experience a series still going strong after 2 decades and 3 console generations.
Is everyone trying to kill you?
It kinda seems like it.
Halo Combat Evolved.
Now would be a very good time to leave.
Punch it.
Every studio launching a new franchise hopes their new title will not only be a hit, but that their protagonist will resonate with gamers. It's not often a studio not only nails their first title in a new franchise, but also manages to create an industry icon and help launch a new and massively successful gaming console. After repeated restarts, developer Bungie landed on a first-person shooter and nailed the feeling of controlling the Chief through this expansive campaign while creating the industry standard for how all console first-person shooters should feel and play. Much like Star Wars, Halo Combat Evolved became an overnight success with its surprisingly deep lore and backstory that gamers immediately became invested in and helped expand upon. The addition of split-screen multiplayer led to many long nights where disputes were settled in Blood Gulch.
Get us out of here.
Halo 3.
We're not leaving him here.
Yeah, you're not.
Crazy fool. Why do you always jump? One of these days, you're gonna land on something as stubborn as you are.
Gamers had to wait 3 more years to finish the fight, but it was more than worth it. Bungie took full advantage of the new Xbox 360 hardware and built Halo 3 from the ground up with multiplayer and online capabilities in mind. The new Forge mode even allowed players to design and create their own maps and challenges, along with the added ability to share and upload clips of their best gameplay moments. Halo 3 managed to wrap up Master Chief's heroic story and Arbiter's redemption arc in a truly meaningful way and gave gamers the closure they had been building for almost a decade. Bungie managed to one-up themselves with each subsequent entry into the series they cultivated, and deliver not only the emotional story beats, but give Master Chief some of his most badass moments in the entire series up to that point.
I'll miss you.
Wake me when you need me.
Halo Reach. While 343 would unsuccessfully attempt to sideline Master Chief for Halo 5, Bungie did the unthinkable and created a game before Chief had even entered the fight. Even with the massive shadow of the Chief's absence, the team at Bungie managed to create one of the most emotional and meaningful entries in the entire Halo series. Chronicling the events of Planet Reach and its initial encounter with the Covenant forces before Reach became a rallying cry for all of the UNSC, players were dropped into the Spartan armor of Noble 6 and joined the rest of the Noble team in their attempts to repel the oncoming Covenant attack. Each Spartan of Noble team becomes a member you care about, and each subsequent loss hits gamers in the feels in all the ways Bungie intended. And update, it still hurts. Do you agree with our picks? Don't forget to stick around and check out our other videos on MojoPlays.